our USDC to be able to continue putting money in these portfolios right now, unless the price of Bitcoin drops below 17,600 if it makes a new low, or if it drops even lower to the $10,000 to $14,000 range. I've recommended to my portfolio enforcement team to set buy orders for different coins, so that way if we do get those drops, they will be added to the portfolio, even though I'm going to be gone in Alaska for 2 weeks. No internet access here. What does this mean? That means today we're not making any moves, but what I want to start doing is I want to start going over what our ideal portfolio is going to look like for each level. So obviously you guys know we have the 1K portfolio, which we're down about $500 in right now, maybe not even that much. We have our 10K portfolio, and then we have our 25K portfolio. Now across all these portfolios right now, we're down about $1,600. Not too bad. Now next week, I hope you guys enjoyed AJ doing the market watch last night. He's going to actually next week, unless there's dramatic changes to the portfolio, he's going to be talking about a new 5K portfolio we're going to do, which is going to be all ISO 20022 coins. And this is going to be including 3 coins that are rumored to be compliant that aren't yet. We're just going to be adding them all. So he's going to cover all that for you next week. He'll talk a little bit about what ISO 20022 is, and then talk about the coins, and then show you what we're going to do. But what I want to do is right now, I mainly want to talk about the $1,000 portfolio, because if I'm honest, if you're honest, most people, especially in a bear market right now, that's probably about average what people are trying to get into this market. Now in a bull run, people are making money. They might take a loan, whatever. It's not a good idea, but they do crazy stuff. But what do we want our 1K portfolio to look like? Well, first, let's talk about what it looks like right now. So right now, we have 65% of our portfolio is in USDC. Obviously, that is a stable coin. This is good. We've only allocated 35% of our portfolio because we think we're getting better prices. So USDC is a stable coin that allows us to keep $650, that's 65% of $1,000, in stable coins to allocate when the price drops. So that value will stay the same. Regardless, that's what we're gonna do. Then we have ETH. So we have like 11% of the portfolio right now is in ETH. Okay. And then we have about also 11% is in ADA. And then we also have 7%. This is not a great chart. 7% is in Sandbox. Okay. Now we talked about Sandbox. We were trying to buy it for maybe a quick pop, but then the market crashed. And so obviously we didn't get that pop. The point here is this, is right now, this is where we have our portfolio allocated. What do we want this to look like? What do we want this to look like? Well, we're going to want probably 30% of our portfolio to be in ETH. I mean, guys, the ETH merge is coming. It's going to be going deflationary. This is what we're going to be aiming to get this up to. So when we're thinking about allocating this stuff if prices drop, we're going to want to end up here at 30%. Now, obviously, at a $1,000 portfolio, we allocate it all right now. That would be about $300 worth of ETH, or $280 worth of ETH. Eventually, we want to get up to where we're flipping some of these other coins to get to that 30%. So obviously, we have Sandbox. I like Sandbox a lot. I'm going to be good putting 15% into Sand. I'm going to want to put 20% into ADA. That puts us at 65%. I'm going to want to put, now a coin we don't have right now, but we want to have in this portfolio is definitely XRP. So I also want to put 15% into XRP. Now, I know what the XRP army is asking. Why are you only allocating 15% to XRP? Well, the reason for this, why are we putting more in ADA? Well, guys, when you got a $1,000 portfolio, you got to minimize your hits. What if it loses the SEC case? I don't think it's going to. 1% chance. But that's the only reason we're getting a little less risk tolerance to XRP than we are to ADA. Okay. So that's going to put us at 30, 50, 80%. So now we've got 20% of our portfolio remaining. What are we going to do with this 20%? Well, that's a great question. These here, XRP, ADA, and ETH, they're must-haves in your portfolio. I could have easily put something else here and put Sand in this 20% of kind of free-for-all, but we didn't do that because we bought the Sand as kind of a long-term hold. So what are we going to do with this remaining 20%? I think this is something that people really need to understand. Almost never do you want to have 0 stable coins in your portfolio. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. We want 5% of this to be still in stables. So USDC, BUSD, whatever it is, 5%. Just in case we get a quick hit. And something else to think about is, let's say Sandbox doubled overnight. Let's say it doubled overnight. We take that money that doubled and we take a percentage out of that and we put it back in stables, assuming that this 20% is filled up. Now where we're at right now, this is where we're at right now. This is where we're going. Okay. This 20% needs to be spread out different allocations. So we got 5% here. Guys, you want 5% on something super speculative. Now, what is super speculative? This is different things to different people. For some people, they may say, okay, I want this to be, maybe somewhere in the 200 to 500 range on CoinMarketCap. The thing is though, is we've seen a lot of movement on CMC recently. It's okay to kind of expand this. I'm good with you picking anything from number 50 to number 500. Give you some examples of some ones that I like. These are just examples. I'm not showing these. These aren't in our portfolio right now. Just to give you kind of an idea. One I'm particularly interested in the top 100 is Anchor. Another one I'm particularly interested in is Storj. Filecoins are going to be really big on the next bull run in our $25,000 portfolio. We've got Filecoin in there already. Storj could become the number 2. I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's been around since before 2017. I'm not sure exactly when it started, but I know in 2017 it was a viable altcoin. You could go further down the list. Let me see where it is right now, actually. Yeah, Cartesi's somewhere in the top 200. So Cartesi, another good one to pick. CTSI. We like Cartesi. We used to work with them. They're a layer 2 platform similar to Polygon. I believe it uses optimistic rollups, if I remember correctly. I think it does. Definitely a rollup solution for layer 2. So there you go. So that's where we want 5%. We want 5% remaining in stables, 5% and super speculative. Then where do we want the other 10%? The other 10%, we want them in solid coins. I mean, that's just the best way to say it. Look, I'm going to give you some examples of some ones we already have in the portfolio and some of the other allocations. We don't have some of these. Your Algo, HBAR, Quant, Polygon, obviously Matic. We love Matic. Matic's a really good one. Maybe a mix of exchange coins. You could have BNB. You could have FTT is the one I'm particularly interested in. That's in ours right now. I think FTT is going to be really big. You could get some other layer 2s. I mean, you could go with, obviously, Algo and HBAR are layer 2s, but you could go with Cosmos. Not Dogecoin or Shiba. Don't put something stupid in there that's not going to go anywhere in terms of utility. Put things in there that have big potential. So you want to mix that last 10% up of some of these. Now, with a $1,000 portfolio, you're probably not going to want more than 7 or 8 coins max. You're probably not going to want to get over that. So that leaves us enough room. We have 4 right now. Counting stables, we have 5. Pick one of these. Doesn't have to be one of these coins. These are just examples. 6, and then 2 from this list, and that gets you to 8. So if you're doing a $1,000 portfolio, in my opinion, that's the way that you should set it up. Like I said, you don't want more than 7 or 8 coins. And keep in mind, the smaller the percentage, the smaller the allocation, right? So when I say 10% here, you could pick one coin and put 10% in, and then you got 7, or you could pick 2, 5% each, or 7% and 3%, whatever you think is best. So that's what we're looking. These are the goals of our 1K